Oh yeah, we're doing things differently tonight. Oh, yay, what are you jumping for? We haven't even begun the show yet. What is going on, YouTube out there in the YouTube world? It's your boy Michael here from Technoid, and we got a little guest in the house tonight. We got little Maxie. So, guys, quick context for this show. This is a very special show we are doing tonight. Of course, we got little Maxie in the house, and he's a little jumpy, he's a little nervous. But we got him in here tonight. This is my girlfriend Holly's dog. She is here tonight as well. She's doing a little bit of work. And this little mutt, look at this mutt. Look at this mutt. Mwah. He is going to be with us tonight. He's just a little jumpy, so I'll probably put him down here and there from the show so that way we can get going. But I want to introduce you all to the little Maxie. Say hi, Maxie. Look at this. Look at this mutt. Look at this mutt. How could you not say hi to that? Hi. Oh, he yawning already. Look at that, Max. You're on TV. I mean, the internet. Woo, 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 woo. Mwah. He's gonna be here tonight. He's gonna be chilling with us. So we're gonna put him right here. I'm gonna pet him up. Oh, he taking over the show. Look at this. Look at this. He's trying to take over. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Let me know if my audio is good. Look at this. He wants to be a guest star. Look at this. Look at this mutt. Look at him. So anyway, guys, we are going to have a good show tonight. Of course, I will put him down eventually, and then we'll start the show. We do have some guests coming in tonight, so I want to let you guys know. And, of course, like I said, we have a little guest tonight, little Maxie in the house. Oh, Mr. Mutt, Mr. Mutt. There he is, the Mutt. Anyway, without further ado, let's bring in our first guest of the night. Besides Max, we got the man, the myth, the legend, the man from Trinidadian Queens area. We got the Mr. Technician, Mr. Ciova. What is going on, Ciova? Good to see you, my friend.
Hold on, one correction. I'm not from Trinidad.
I know, I made that up. Yeah, I made that one up. Well, it's good to have you, my friend. It has been too long since we have done a live stream, and I am thrilled and honored to have you back on my show. This little mutt over here is trying to get on top of my desk. He wants to be the guest host. So, Max, why don't we let you rest for a little bit while you're up here, and let's tell our viewers what we are in store for. So, guys, if you can't judge by the title, tonight we are going to have a show full about a company that you may or may not have heard. We're going to talk about that company. We're also going to talk a little serious in the tech world relating to it in regards to this notion called the circle. We're going to talk about that. And of course, we will then have some fun moments with Sneed Mobile Tech if he possibly comes in, and Ciova or anybody else that comes in. So, without further ado, real quickly, just want to disclaim to all of you, of course, here at Technoid, your continued support means a lot to me. So thank you guys so much for continuing to support my channel. Thank you guys for continuing to watch and subscribe. And thank you all for the kind feedback that you've given me. Also, we would like to take this opportunity to thank our partners over at Rogue Energy. As you guys know, Technoid and me, the show cannot be possible without the help of Rogue Energy and their continued support. I want to thank them for taking the trip with me, the journey. So we want to say thank you. You guys can get your tub of Rogue Energy, link in the description, link in the comments. So I'm already done with that. And then, of course, we got some other promotions coming in the near future. So, Ciova, we've got some more deals and goodies coming, but we'll save that for another time. But anyway, this little mutt is getting rough. Look at this, look at this. You gotta get to play some beats. He'll be blended in with the Jamaican style. Yeah, you gonna have a good show tonight? Alrighty, Max. So, Ciova, I got a question.
Yo.
Are you ready for tonight? Are you ready?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
All right. While I get this mutt accordance, why don't you give people who haven't seen you a chance to introduce yourself and let them know what you do?
Allow me to reintroduce myself. I'm going to be Ciova the Technician. I do live streaming tech, gear, podcast reviews, breakdowns, live stream tech breakdowns with chill vibes, good lighting, and absolute stunning music. You check me out on my channel. I break down all things tech, make it technically simple when we get very technical.
I see. And we got one more guest in the house. It is the man, of course, of the hour, the man who is kind enough to join us tonight, making it a triple threat, Mr. Sneed Mobile Tech. What is up, Sneed?
What up, good people? What up, mangs?
Yeah, telecom goat.
Look who it is. It's Sneed Mobile Tech. There's Sneed Mobile Tech.
What's good, Mike? What's up, Siova?
Yes,
This is
sir.
little Maxie in the house. Max is here. He's gonna be joining rocking with us tonight. So
Maximus.
we got 3 tech hosts and a dog. So we got a good setup tonight.
Bro, you counted wrong. It's 2 tech hosts, a goat, and a dog.
2 tech hosts, a goat, and a dog. There we go.
That's right.
And this dog is trying to go running all over the place. So I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna put him down for a couple seconds. And while we do that, let's discuss the first topic of the night. It's a good thing we got everybody going. So without further ado, and we have some live chats in here. We'll get to them in a quick second. Topic of the night. The first topic of the night is, of course, ZTE. Now, fellas, I have a question. Only a simple yes or no. Have you heard of ZTE?
Yes,
Absolutely.
I have.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, that is very good. We are off to a good start. Man, this is crazy. So, I got another question. What is your thoughts lately in the whole tech field in terms of competition, in terms of options, but most of all, what do you think so far of the tech world since, the exit of LG and looking at the status quo of Android makers? What are your thoughts in terms of competition?
Go ahead, Siova. That's you, buddy.
So there's a lot of competition, but from what I'm seeing, a lot of people like really scared to actually compete and to do things different. And on the opposite side of that, when companies do dare to be different and dare to innovate, tech media, depending on who the company is right there on the firing range, ready to keep the company down in a blaze of glory. So with the vacuum that's been created with LG, there aren't a lot of companies who are daring to innovate, and I hope we can get into that on the last part of the topic before you end the show, of companies being scared to innovate and tech media lining up to fire companies down on the firing squad for the companies that do dare to innovate. So that's all I got for you on that one.
All right.
All right, that's a good take. I do appreciate that. Let me hear you, Sneed.
Siova's right, man. So the fear of innovation is actually a fear of failure. But what these companies don't understand is nobody is Apple, right? Nobody is going to do what Apple does when it comes to sales and consistently getting people by the what to buy their stuff. But the way that Apple did it was by giving them every possible service. And they covered every aspect of their wireless mobility, their tablet, their MacBook. They did everything, and then they gave them a store to go and complain to when stuff went wrong. No other company does that. So since no other company is going to do that, you have to focus on building incredible hardware that is different than Apple, because when people want those things, they go to Apple. They don't go anywhere else. So you're not trying to get Apple customers because you're not getting them. So what you need to do is actually do what LG did, but do it better than LG, because LG failed. There have been companies that have innovated. There have been companies who have hit good price points, offered good value and good features, but they either didn't follow up or they didn't, do their due diligence in research and development for reliability. We saw phones blowing up. We've seen phones failing. We've seen boot loops. Like, all those things amount to something. And you lose trust from the consumer. Everybody knows LG had boot loop issues. They stayed away. Everybody knew that HTC started producing phones that were not great anymore. Like, there was no incredible follow-up to the HTC One M7. Had there been something as good as a follow-up, people would have continued to buy those products. And when I look at the Google phone, it's the same situation. They don't do anything great except the camera, right? So what are you doing for hardware? Nothing sets it apart from anything, and that's where, if we're going to talk about ZTE, how do you carve out a niche to separate you from the rest of the Android world? Because nobody's going to buy a ZTE that's got an iPhone today. That is not happening, Chief. Nobody is trading in their iPhone XS Max for a ZTE whatever, right? So you're going to be trying to get the LG customers, the Motorola customer, right? Even the Google phone or the Samsung Galaxy customer. You know, when I talk to Siova sometimes about these phones, he's into the foldables. He's into the flips. He's into the Asus ROG phones. These are unique phones, right? They offer something unique in an experience. Nobody is really has executed that properly. If ZTE is going to do something different and really push it, because that's been another issue. People aren't really marketing what they're doing. They're not pushing the product. Yeah, there it is. That's the ROG phone. He's got the ROG 2 or the original.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's. I think that might be the original. It looked like the original design. Oh,
We
yeah, I think
lost
you're on
Siova's
mute.
audio.
Audio muted, Siova. Yeah, microphone. Yeah, I think the audio went out. No worries, no worries. But go ahead,
Carry
go
on.
ahead, finish up.
So
Yeah.
carry
Go
on.
ahead. While we get Siova with technical issues, let's wrap it up, Steve. So, what's your final thought? What do you
I
think?
think my final thought is that if a company is going to come in, an OEM, and they're going to innovate, then they are going to have to do this right. You have to make a good product that hits a lot of check boxes. It's going to have to be priced competitively, and they're going to have to market it. You fail at any one of those things, and every other OEM is going to be eating you up that has been killing it. You're not going to take Samsung market share if you don't hit all those boxes, and you're not messing with Apple. Good luck taking iPhone customers. They are there for life. They're like a
Oh yeah.
tattoo, bro. That's what
Oh yeah.
Apple is. They are a tattoo.
Oh, 100%. And you know what? Both of you men bring some very, very interesting points. And this dog is sniffing up my microphone. Well,
What's up, Ryan? We got Ryan in the live chat.
we
Yeah.
got everybody. Well, what if I told you guys that this company, ZTE, well, not this company, let's clarify. This company's been around for a while. They've been around for a while, but they didn't break the mainstream until the last year. They recently got mainstream attention. And right now, if I had to say a guess, what if I told you this dog really be trying to track away from my camera zooms? You smart Alec. What if I told you guys that there was dang this dog this dog is smart. He knows when I'm looking at the camera. But anyway, what if I told you that ZTE in the last year have reevaluated their company and have addressed 3 out of 4 points that you've made, Sneed. And we're going to discuss those because I'm glad you brought those up because I want to explain something about this company and why I believe they could be the next big flagship maker. Now, you bring up an interesting, there it is, ZTE,
Axon. Yeah.
Exxon, yeah. And it's a good phone. It really, really does the job. Now, let's address a couple things. Number one, I don't believe they're going to top any company that I'm about to say. And I think they've actually addressed that. And Dennis, yes, that was one of the concerns, but now their phones are available for sale in America, and they've recently got cleared by the communications devices to sell those devices in America with accordance to Android.
But you know what they're going to need, Mike, is they're going to need carrier support. They're going to
Good
need
question.
carrier push. Yeah.
Good thing. We're going to address all that tonight. We're going to address everything because I'm here to tell you guys, and I truly believe this. I believe that within next year, or maybe in 2 years, we don't know, I feel like ZTE is going to be put on the map when it comes to flagship phones. And I don't think they're going to take Apple fans. I think they realize they're not going to grab Apple fans. But what they can and they are pretty much addressing is we're trying to take those consumers that are looking for the best. We're looking for those consumers who want the best but don't want to pay that. Basically what OnePlus did, but they're like, we ain't gonna do none of that. And thank you for the $2 super chat or $1.99 super chat. Funny that AT&T trusts ZTE more than OnePlus. Well, OnePlus is heading with a big ale in their direction, so they're taking a big ale. But anyway, I'm
It's a
here to
wrap
tell
for
you guys.
OnePlus. It's almost a wrap for OnePlus.
It's almost a wrap. Well, I'm here to make the case for ZTE because they are approved now. They are selling devices in America. They've gotten the okay. They've been backed. And I think for me, I feel like they might be able to make some presence. And they've addressed it with their new release. We're going to talk about it right now. So take a look at their website, fellas. Let's move you guys. So here we are. We're at the bottom of the screen. So this is their newest quote unquote flagship. But here's the thing. You wouldn't think this is a flagship device. And let me show you. This is their new Axon 30. The Axon 30 and the Axon 30 Ultra are new line of flagships. Now, why they picked the number 30, nobody knows. But let's take a look at the 30 Ultra, basically going into the Samsung territory. Now, on the surface, if you guys can see, I don't know if the screen froze. Did the screen freeze? Hold on one second. Excuse me, guys.
It was good. It was good.
Oh, it was good?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was good.
I'm trying to pull up here. I changed the page. I don't think it changed here. 1 second, everybody. Thank you, Gene, for the $2 super chat. You appreciate that. Here we go. Okay. So taking a look at the 30 Ultra, the Axon 30 Ultra, on the surface, it looks like a Note. It looks like a combination of the. Ooh, be careful, Max. It looks like a combination of the Note, and it looks like a combination of the Ultra. But it does so much more than that. Take a look at these specs right off the bat. Now, people are going to go, oh, what do we need specs? Well, that's the first thing they differentiated themselves with. They said, you know what? We're going to offer you guys something that Samsung couldn't even put in their phones, and we're going to do it our way. So the first thing they did was, of course, they went with the 64 megapixel. Now, of course, Samsung makes a big fuss with the 108 megapixel.
So, Mike, you're going to go through these specs, right? And I don't mean to interrupt, but I think this has to be said. Apple is the only company where specs don't matter.
Yes.
Specs matter to every other phone manufacturer.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
People look at battery size, they look at the number of cameras, they look at the charging speed, battery capacity, like all that matters in every other OEM except Apple.
Of
These
course,
are big facts.
of course.
Yeah.
Those are facts. And I think that ZTE addresses that in their marketing with their website. Because when you look at the camera, we see that they're using a 4-lens setup. And from what I was able to gather, they're using pro-grade cameras provided by Sony Lens. So they're using Sony lenses. This is the 64 megapixel portrait. You see, Sony sensors. There we go.
Mm-hmm.
And these are the IMX 686. These aren't cheap, brothers. These aren't cheap sensors.
And we all know Sony sensors look better in all phones except for Sony phones. So that's
for some reason, I don't know why it is, but you're
See,
right.
over that's like you buying
Absolutely
gear
right.
and clothes, and then I'm wearing it, but I look good in it, right?
Man, listen.
Yeah, exactly. I swear, bro. I swear. But anyway, let's keep it moving. When it comes to their marketing, they're basically marketing not just the cameras, but if we take a look at the phone themselves, they've also promoted the same things that Apple does, but they're claiming that their hardware, and we'll get to their software, because I want to bring up some interesting facts about their software, because there's something that nobody talks about with ZTE's software. But anyway, moving past the cameras, because of course everybody wants to talk about the moon these days, let's take a look at the display.
Oh, please get to that display. Something stood out with me with that display.
This display is 144 refresh rate. Now, of course, that's not a big deal because people aren't going to care about that anyway, but it is an FHD plus 1080p display. It has eye comfort mode, so of course it is good on the eyes. You'd think, of course, most of these companies don't care. It is rocking a very similar, but look at the minimal design. Look at this design. It almost resembles to me like the hybrid of a Samsung device.
It reminds me of the Note 10 Plus that I had back in the day.
I missed that phone. I really missed that phone.
I love my Note 10 Plus, yeah.
One of the biggest things in this phone is the 888, and they paired it with the modem and everything. Now, some people are saying there have been band restrictions, that they're saying that there's some restrictions on their bands. I've done my research, and we'll pull up the specs on their modem list because Steve, you like to cover that. But they made a big fuss about Wi-Fi 6E and 5G. So it seems they are going all in on 5G as well.
Yeah, let's take a look at the radios.
Yeah, and they are also going all in on performance, not just with the refresh rate, but they've also explained that they have a new some kind of things similar to Apple with haptic touch, like feedback that you feel when you're playing a video game. So you have like 3D touch kind of, haptic kind of. And then, of course, my favorite area, audio. They have linear dual speakers, although I don't know how the quality is, at least the phone audio. But with all that, they even offer better cooling than a Samsung device. Let's take a look at their cooling system. They're using liquid cooling. They're going with a whole, look at this, look, state-of-the-art liquid cooling keeps internal components optimized for maximum efficiencies and optical performance in any situations. So we've got cooling, and then we got a whole array. Talk about a company that goes all in on the cooling of their phones. Samsung's got to throw their cooling out the way. And then my favorite, the fast charging, 65 watts fast charging,
Yeah, wow.
0 to 100 in 45 minutes.
All right,
But
man. I gotta
now,
say it. I gotta say it. This looks like a possible candidate to follow up and replace a ROG phone.
here's their software.
It feels and looks like it might be a power user gamer type of phone. Like you saw the way they were holding it. It was kind of like in gaming mode, right?
Yeah.
You got this the see, that's the thing. You want to do a high performance experience. You need big battery, you need bright big display, like high refresh rate,
Yeah.
and like good sound. Because these are the things you're interacting with your phone as part of the experience.
Well,
And I'll tell you right
I'm
now,
here
they
to tell you,
nailed the
boys.
sound on the Axon 7.
Yeah, they sure did.
They're good with their dual speakers.
Well, with all that said, just making him comfortable, you got to be asking yourself, what's the price for this phone? Because you would think a phone of this magnitude, a phone that offers this much, DTS-X Ultra, immersive 3D audio, AI noise reduction, then they're really going all in on the video, 3D virtual sounds. What is the price? Well, fellas, the price,
$599.
$849.
Oh, okay.
That's a pretty good price, and I'm
And
going to
wait,
tell you
it gets
why.
better. Wait. It gets better. Even
What?
if you get the 8 gigabyte version with 128,
Mhm.
$750.
Oh, so if
But
you
of
wanted to
course,
go with a bargain, you could save a little
you
money
could
by
save a
cutting
little
back on the
money,
specs.
cutting
Okay.
back on the specs. Now, I
Okay.
don't know exactly. Also, I'm just going to put him up here because he likes it up here. I think he likes my computer screen. But yeah, this phone literally has everything in the making of a flagship, a 6.7-inch OLED display with 144 refresh rate, 300 hertz touch sample, which is more than what Apple offers.
Does it come
State-of-the-art
with the
cooling.
65-watt charger?
It comes with the 65-watt charger.
Man, what a novel idea. You put the fast charger in the box with the
And
phone.
it
Who
comes
would have
with a
thunk it?
case. And it comes with, look what it comes with. It comes with
Imagine
the
that.
phone. You got a power adapter. We got a Type-C data cable. We got a snap pin, which is basically your SIM card and probably extension. You got headphone extension cable, so they don't have a headphone jack, which is kind of a bummer. I would have thought they would. But then they have the 65-watt charger in the box. Let's talk about a bargain right there, fellas. Now,
Okay,
this
so
little-
this phone has the spec list of the Samsung Galaxy S21 Plus.
yes.
It's essentially the S21 Plus, but the S21 Plus is 1100.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This phone's
But
a
we're not
problem,
done.
man.
Boys, we're not done.
What's
They
the
just
Ultra?
because if you thought that their flagship couldn't get any
Oh, that
better,
is the Ultra. Okay.
wait until you see their mid-range. Are you guys ready for this? This
Yeah,
just
yeah.
came out today.
Wow.
Debuted today. This is their mid-range, boys and girls. The
That's a nice color.
ZTE Axon 30. Guess what? What do they do to differentiate themselves? What do they do to make this phone stand out? Do you see a punch hole? Do you see a notch? Do you see a chin?
I don't see
Well,
anything.
they're using under display camera on a mid-range, boys and girls.
Wow.
This is a mid-range of proportions we have never seen. They are using high-end tech. They are using multi-layer protection to make this work. And it actually, we're going to see video out soon where you don't even see the camera, because I think Samsung introduced the under display technology for the Fold, and you could still see the camera pop out.
Sure.
They're making a big fuss that we're going to be able to hide it so well you'll never see it. So we'll have to wait and see. It's got a 6.9-inch AMOLED display, better than the Ultra. Better than the Ultra. Not in good refresh rate, but still blazing fast. It's
That
got
360 touch sampling rate.
yes,
That right.
a 10-bit screen color resolution. They stepped back with the 870. That's their version of putting a mid-range. They didn't go 700. They went
Yeah, that's a good
870.
decision. That is a really good
They
decision.
went
Wow.
and wait, it gets better. Contains the 65-watt fast charging, has a nice lightweight design, has the 4-lens system. Maybe not as good as the Ultra, but it has its own camera system. Comes in beautiful colors. Basically giving you an experience that you won't even get with any Android mid-ranges in some extent. But wait, all this package, 4K, 60 frames, filming. Look at this display. Look at that guy. Goodness. But wait, I'm going off. I'm going off. I'm sorry, guys. They've got AI noise reduction, AI smart voice, hi-fi sound. So this is hi-fi certified if you use a Type-C data cable. And we're going to talk about the OS in just a second. But boys, how much do you think this phone is?
Well, are we going to be basing it off of the premium one? So
If you go 8 gigabytes,
$5.99.
$500.
Oh, $4.99.
$500 for the
Man,
next gen. And wait, if you want the 12256, only $100 more.
Man, Axon, that's a problem, man.
Axon gave everybody a mid-range. They gave us a mid-range and basically turned it into a flagship on its own, boys and girls. You know what?
kind of, yeah.
Maxie, I love you, Max, but we got to give a big round of applause, man. We got to give a big round of applause. Axon came out and said, you know what? We know that we got a lot of hurdles to go through. We know that we got a lot of things to do right in terms of trust and reliability, but there's one thing we know we can do better, and that's make a smartphone that undercuts the technology that even Samsung, Motorola, I would argue Apple, but nobody cares, Google, they're undercutting everybody. And they went all in on the under display technology and they priced it at $499.
That's crazy. That's
So
nuts.
and the last thing I want to talk about before I close out this segment and then we discuss why I think this, let's take a look real quickly at their software. Now, most softwares tend to be a skin on top of Android, which is typical nowadays. They want to give their experience. They want to give you the best in performance. They want to give you everything that they can offer without having to lean on bargaining. Well, I'm here to tell you, they do have a skin. It's called MyOS 11. Now, on the surface, you're probably saying to yourself, "So, what's so special about this MyOS 11?" Well, I've been trying to pull up here the software to give you guys. Here are their bandwidths for 5G, and they are sanctioned. This is the Ultra version. The 30 is different, but they did say that they will be enabling more bands in future releases. So they do have the bandwidths. They are going to release them with future software updates because the 888 is capable of handling more, especially with the modem for that mono. I think it's the X60, if I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So they will be adding more in future releases. Now, this MyOS 11 is based on Android 11. Now we know that's cool and all, and you're probably saying to yourself, well, if we take a look at their software just for a second, because I don't know where I had it and then I lost it. I apologize, guys. They had a whole buzz about their software. If I could pull it up, but while I look for it, I gotta ask, what are your thoughts? Everything I've shown you, and we didn't even talk software yet. So what are your thoughts? Siova, you want to go first?
Pixel what?
Pixel what?
I
He ain't
mean,
lying. Yeah.
I mean, like if I'm looking at the spec sheet. I'm a spec guy. I'm looking at the spec sheet. Then I'm a price guy second, and I'm looking at the price. I'm looking at it from the perspective that Axon has decided, like, okay, we let you guys eat, so now we're coming back, and I'm looking at this phone, and I don't see a fault in this phone. I know that once it gets reviewed, the tech circle stereotypical complaints are going to come up. Oh, something's wrong with the camera. Oh, I don't like the software. Oh, the user experience isn't that great. Right? This phone looks amazing. And matter of fact, forget the Ultra. The base 499 model looks like a no-brainer mid-range. You can throw away that Pixel 5a because this phone right here looks like a stunner. I mean, obviously people will have to see how that camera and how that software experience would look like with Axon. But I mean, this is a problem. These two phones are a problem, and they're undercutting massively the overpriced flagship companies. So these two phones are a problem, in my opinion.
He's right. He's right. With this phone, if we take the base model of each of them, it's actually what OnePlus was trying to do. If we look at the DNA of OnePlus as the flagship killer, this is actually the flagship killer, because what they're doing is they're going to give you the specs of a flagship Samsung at the $850 price point or whatever it was, $899, $849. And then if you just feel like saving money, you can get the almost flagship, right? At 870 chipset, that's almost the 888, right? That's a half a notch below. That's not even a full notch below. A full notch, you're going to go down to a 7 series. So they're basically saying we're going to give you an almost flagship level spec sheet. Like literally, it's just missing that one little thing. Everything else looks tremendous. Still has a 4,200 milliamp hour battery. Still giving you the 65-watt charging. I mean, it looks tremendous, right? Like that's a good looking phone. It looks like a flagship.
That looks better than the Ultra too.
Yeah, I mean, look. So if the software experience matches what the spec list looks like, and look, when it comes to software, if you run a mostly stock skin, most people will be satisfied. Throw in a couple of useful features that people can dig, things that might help you navigate the software a little bit better, more efficiently, some productivity tools. If you keep it stock, people won't have to download a launcher, like things like that. It's an Android, so integrate more googly stuff with it, like to keep it kind of stock-ish. Because even Motorola wouldn't do this at this price point. That phone would be selling for $799.
You know, have the 7. What is it? 765. What's the 7 processor?
It's not even using a 700.
In order to get to this price, point, other companies would have used the 7 series chip.
Yeah,
they went with an 800.
Yeah, which is incredible. So this isn't going to benchmark that much different, or experience-wise that much different than an 888. And if anything, that's probably why they could justify putting a slightly smaller battery and probably not requiring an active heating element. Right now, it doesn't need active heating dissipation.
Fact, if you want to talk about the cooling for the Axon 30, this is their mid-range. How can we ask this question? I want to ask you guys in live stream, because I know you guys have your reserves. I know you guys have your issues. And by the way, Max is just chilling over there. He'll be back in the show in a couple of minutes. He'll be back. But I gotta ask, like, despite if you have some concerns, which are credible concerns, because there is a trust issue, because these are based out of China. But if you were to take those aside, looking at this, if you're an Android user and you're looking to buy the next smartphone, tell me one thing here. And this is a mid-range. This is not a flagship. This is a mid-range. Tell me,
Mike. I'm willing to buy this phone. First of all, this is an easy buy. This one is easy to purchase. You buy it unlocked. You put on whatever carrier you want. Now that's the question, because this is going to be a true mobility product for me. I'm going to put a SIM card in it. I need to know what the cellular radios are, because I need to know which SIM card to put in this.
Sure.
Is it going to work with T-Mobile? Is it going to work with Verizon? Is it going to be AT&T? Can we take a look at those specs on the radios?
Right here, connectivity. I think they're more friendly with AT&T. I think they have a better...
Let's take a look. See if you could zoom in a little bit for me.
Is that better?
All right, cool. Let me see. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Zoom in, like you mean...
all right, so we have dual SIM. Okay, I'm with that. That's good. I like that. I think every phone that is manufactured at this point moving forward should be dual SIM. Boom. I'm good with that. Now, when it comes to North America, you see where it says North America 5G?
Yes.
It does have C-band support. It's got N78. The only problem is it doesn't say N77, which is C-band for like Verizon, AT&T. I'm not sure why it omitted N77. That could be a mistake, an error, that it says 78, or maybe they just omitted 77.
Well, the modem they're using, the modem that for the 870, I don't know what is that the X55 or is that the...
Yeah, but these radio bands have to be enabled by the manufacturer.
I think they will, because I was reading the press release. I was reading the press releases for this phone. They did say with future updates, they will enable more bandwidth connectivity.
Oh,
you're just getting...
Okay.
Because that's the one thing about... another thing I was going to bring up with iOS 11. With most of their software being based... with, most companies focusing on performance and most companies focusing on a more sleekish design. They are going for that. This will be their...
Look at the rest of the thing here. If you look at the listing, where it says 5G Europe, it includes N77 and N78.
Mhm.
So it's got the C-band. So I think we're good. I think that's just either a misprint or something isn't enabled yet. But I think
Probably.
it's good. I think it's got the future 5G there because it's got N41 for T-Mobile. It's got the NSA. It's got the SA. I think we're okay. I think we're good.
Okay.
The
And
only
then,
thing
of
I'm
course,
curious though is the band 14 for AT&T.
band 14. Okay.
Notoriously, Chinese smartphones don't have band 14 for AT&T. That
That's
is
true.
something that I know. So
That is true. Now, because they are focusing on North America, and Silva, I want to get your thoughts on this just in a second. They did say they did say in the press release that they will be enabling future features in the smartphone. Now, some of these features are not just with the software, but also, like you said, performance wise. So this will include those bandwidths, and they'll later down the road, once they get certification that they work in the United States, and once they test it out, then they're going to push it. So you guys don't have to worry. I know the comments, I know the live chat, I know you guys are blowing up. They're missing N77, the Euro version, missing N13. Don't worry. They've said in their press
they
releases,
didn't list the LTE specs. That's weird.
I think because they're pushing more on the 5G. I think they're focusing more heavily on 5G as a marketing ploy. So I could be maybe one of the reasons. But the
Maybe.
LTE should be in there because of course they can't run a phone with just 5G only. You know what
All
I mean?
right. Yeah. Well,
But real quickly, you guys were I was just about to talk about the software. One of the things that I like that they're using with their software, and I'm gonna pull up an image here if I can. It's on the homepage here. So when you look at their phones and you look at the setup, and they even have a smartwatch. I didn't even talk about their ecosystem. They have an ecosystem built in here. So they
oh wow,
have
with the buds and the watch. Nice.
they have the buds in the watch. But taking a look at their decision to innovate, their software is going to be the first test. This is their new pushing this is their next phone model, the A20. I don't know if that phone came out yet or not, but there's so many things coming out that this company is really going all in on. And the one that they're focusing on is software. Now, what makes ZTE software different from others? Well, I did a little bit of research. They don't have a dedicated, web page to talk about their OS, but I can tell you when I was reading about MyOS 11, this will be only their second major upgrade, OS upgrade. They're in the realm of 4 years with a fifth year being security, because I think that's where the industry is heading. But according to some reports, they're saying that MyOS 11, that's the name of their skin, because it's based on stock Android, that the biggest change that they're going for with the software is day one releases. They're going to focus on something that Samsung and other manufacturers have not been able to produce: day one OS updates. Now, how do they do this? Well, reading over the websites with the links provided after the show, they're basically going to mimic stock Android with certain areas going with their quote unquote full list of what I'm going to say is stock Android. Basically, the only things they're omitting is, of course, they're going with messages. They have a few things. Now, Los, I know you are a big fan. Again, listen, Los, relax. We know. Don't worry, big man. I know there's some stuff, but listen, you gotta give them a chance to roll out in America. And like I said, their OS updates, and if they work with Verizon, then of course they'll get an ultra wideband edition. But I don't think they're gonna go to Verizon right away. I still think they got some work to do. But the software experience, they want day one releases. That's their biggest thing. Making it cleaner. No ads. So you ever use an Android, you see ads every couple of seconds everywhere you go. They're minimizing ads. Security wise, I'm not sure about that. So there are some hurdles that I do think that they have to work out. But I need to address the live chat to all these people, guys. Listen, I know you guys love your cellular technology, and I'm not going to dispute that. And you make some fair points. And Kaisi pulled up the LTE bands. So here are the LTE bands.
Yeah, good looking out, Kaz. Thank you.
Thank you, Kaz. I know you guys are crazy for cellular technology, and I appreciate that, and I think that's something we need to take into consideration. But the purpose of talking about this model of this phone company is not to talk about the cellular aspect, because we know that the cellular aspect is going to be there. We know it's going to be there, and we got Sneed for that. We're here to focus on the technology, what they're doing to undercut companies, and we're trying to focus on market share and other equilibriums. We're focusing on different areas, and we're focusing on areas for other flagships and other experiences. And with that, the man of wants to come in here and give me some waves on the millimeter wave is Karl System. Here he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There he is. Carlos, what's up, man? Good to see you. Thank you for stopping by.
Oh, he's muted.
Your mic. Los, I think your mic's muted.
Okay, there we go. What up? What up? These
What's
What
up,
up,
down
man?
just a little bit.
All right. Look, whoever buys this phone, I will get you a pink thong, no problem, because that's all it works for. I got you. I will express mail it to you the next day from Victoria's Secret. I will order it and send it to your house. Because that's all this phone works for. That's all.
He's
It's
kind of right. He's kind of
I mean,
right.
yeah, he's right. He's right.
That's it right now.
They need to,
AT&T
like I
is
said,
missing 14, 30. Bro, it's missing what N261 that they
Yeah,
use.
but Technoid did bring up a point that there's a lot to offer on this phone when it comes to the actual smartphone piece.
Yeah, the
and
smartphone part is fine.
With the cellular bands, like I said, I was
No
reading
band
the
13
articles.
for Verizon.
They will
use it.
open up because the phone is not relatively popular, Los. They need a lot more pushing.
Bro,
before
Los
they
came
can
in here
really-
swinging, bro. Los
So,
came in hot.
I'll just say,
No, I like the phone. Don't get me wrong. I'm not.
No,
I'm
yeah,
not knocking
yeah,
it.
of course.
I'm just saying, but you're going to be half-ass connecting in the networks, except for T-Mobile.
Yeah, T-Mobile probably would be better for it. But I will say,
Yeah.
if the phone sells, if they sell more and they see there's a need and a demand for this model, then I feel like then they will start pushing out more. Because right now, this phone, like I said, this company went mainstream only literally less than a year ago. So they really are like now just starting to pick up attraction. So we can only hope that they can buy their way to the top. Now, there are some things I have my doubts. I do have my doubts. I do think that band 13 and 14 for AT&T are important. Thank you for the $2 super chat, guysy. I think what's important though with this smartphone is the market share. I focus on the market share. I focus on what grabs consumer attentions, what grabs the audience. Now, I think this phone, I think it has potential. I do think it has potential, but like you addressed, and I think everybody agrees, they have to get N71, at least
Right.
roll out Verizon support, have at least LTE support for AT&T, because I don't know about their 5G. I have never used it. I haven't heard anything about it. And I feel like they need more consumers to have this in the hand. Now, going to Unbox Therapy to try and push this phone is a bad idea, especially when he'll take anything and everything. No offense, Lou, but you be taking L's left and right, especially from OnePlus.
Straight up, bro.
But
Straight
anyway,
up.
like I said, there is potential here. Now there are some hurdles. There are some big hurdles. So I do think we need to address that. Los, you know about the hurdles.
Well, the biggest hurdle is Los. You know, if you
Yeah.
ask Los, the only phone that matters is the iPhone.
Nah,
No.
bro. No. Hold on. You need to put rewind on that one.
All right, rewind. Go ahead.
The flip, bro. I like the
Okay.
flip.
All right, he
Flip
likes
is
the
good
flip.
phone.
I like the
Flip is
flip,
good
bro, because the millimeter wave's on point. It's just like the iPhone, but the only difference is it's the X60.
See how you just did that? It's like the iPhone.
With
See
the
that?
55,
Mm-hmm.
but it's okay. It's still good. I'm not knocking it. It's good.
Carlos, you ain't objective, bro. Don't front.
But I'm just saying they got it good. They got it good. I'm keeping it 100, bro.
When he's on my channel, he's objective. Remember that, Steve Mobile Tech. He likes me more than you.
I like the Galaxy. I'm digging my flip, bro. I use
It's a
that.
good
What about
phone.
what about
It's
the
a good
fold,
phone.
man?
The fold is fucking. It's garbage, bro.
Garbini.
Straight up, I like my flip.
Siova's in the background here. Siova's been sitting here. I want to hear what he has to say.
Yeah,
I've been
Silva, what's
dying to
up?
hear.
What's up?
Thank you for the $10 super chat. Can't gain market share if they only sell a third of the market. Also mentioned the biggest hurdle is the Chinese company, which I think is a way to overcome. Yes, I agree with that 100%, Dennis. And thank you for the $10 super
Thanks,
chat.
Dennis.
That was
Yeah,
was really kind. And Apple Watts, you're always welcome on my show. You got to come back on, man. We got to
The
talk
most
Apple
is.
sometime. Go ahead, Cio. I'm so sorry.
I mean, I think out of everyone, it might sound crazy, but I do have like an average consumer perspective when it comes to cellular data. Based on my lifestyle and how I move, connectivity is not that important for me. I get if I can just simply get 5G and it can work from A to B with the time that I'm outside, playing music, Pandora, Spotify, YouTube Music. Maybe if I hop on a StreamYard channel, something like that. If it can do that effectively and not drop and not lose connectivity, then I'm okay with that. Because if I'm not outside, I'm at home, and then I turn my 5G off, and I'm strictly on my Wi-Fi. So if the phone can work properly as a phone and it has the data connectivity like any other phone can, and it works perfectly fine, then I'm okay with it maybe not having a few bands here and there, as long as it can give me the 5G connectivity that I'm looking for. If it misses a couple bands from my perspective, in my use case, I'd be okay with that because outside of me just being outside, I'm home with my Wi-Fi.
Okay, that's fair. And guys, we are running out of time because I did want to stay on here for about an hour, and I know you guys got some time. So let's wrap up ZTE. Final thoughts, Los, Sneed, you guys can go, and then I'll give my final thoughts.
I think the phone, kind of like the way Siova is describing his use case, if he comes in at $500 and buys that mid-range, the Axon 30, and he's got a primary device otherwise, that is the ultimate secondary device, right? You get yourself the legit Samsung flagship, the ROG phone flagship, the iPhone. If your secondary phone is an Axon 30, you are cold chilling, my friend. I mean, you can make a hotspot if the band issues are happening. You know, he's always on the Wi-Fi. Most people can be. Enough 5G coverage might be there. He's in New York, so real talk, bro. They got the cellular on lockdown. Like they got the newest tech, the most capacity. So it's like
Except for
he's
US
kind of in a
Mobile. Except for US Mobile.
The US Mobile is trash. All right,
US
so
Mobile is trash.
but real talk, like Siova's use case, that this phone is a home run for him. I want to try it. I'm amped up to try it. Not so much the flagship necessarily because of the cellular bands, but if I'm coming in at $500, I can bite the bullet on a couple of bands being missing. You know what I'm saying? And I could just kind of do the Wi-Fi thing and make hotspot and stuff like that. I'm okay with it. I think that phone has a lot to offer and it's a great value.
Okay. And Los, last one.
It has a lot to offer. I won't deny that. Price point
But
is
it's not an iPhone.
No,
It's just not.
It's not even the iPhone. That's being honest, bro. Come on, man. I'm rocking a Samsung, bro, daily.
I give Los a lot of credit. You know, he could be heavily Apple biased, but he gives these, Samsung and other companies, he gives them a chance. He uses them before he trashes them. At least he gives them a chance. Most people would just say, ugh.
But Technoid, this is the problem. This flip phone, I can't let it go.
Yeah,
it's good. I like it. It finally works perfect.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, this ZT, don't get me wrong, everything's good with it. For the price point, it's sweet. But if they want to dominate market share, they have to open up the bands. Yes. I'm sorry, bro.
Or they got to get a carrier model for each carrier.
But that's the thing, though. They don't have to do that though. If how do you call it? Samsung's able to sell an unlocked version at Best Buy, you can go get an iPhone at the Apple Store and it has all the bands. I think they can do the same. I don't see why not. Order from the website, a fully unlocked model, and then if you want, start put your branded carrier versions at the carrier stores. But the bands are important, especially for people that want to save money in rural America. These are perfect price points for rural America customers right here. Flagship specs.
Flagship, literally flagship. Like, this is a true. I'm sorry to cut you off, Los.
No,
this is basically giving you literally the budget device that, like, the mid-budget, like mid-range, perfect mid-range without like any like holdback, kind of, because you're getting more than the Ultra with this phone. You're getting an under-display camera technology that could cost you probably more.
But the thing is with rural America customers that are price sensitive, that this phone would be perfect for, is the lack of low band. 13, 14, 71. It's lacking those bands, and that's very important for rural America customers that are price sensitive that would benefit from this phone.
Bro, you know who would love this phone? India would love this phone, man.
Yes. Yes, India would love this phone, and especially with the population out there, they need as much cheap technology, or not cheap, but they need budget end devices to support.
Right?
Yeah, they need phones that don't explode.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in just a little bit, but I'm gonna finish up real quick. Then we're gonna move on to the next topic. You guys bring some fair points. I'm gonna highlight a couple that you guys said. Starting with Siova, let's just say one thing: you're not an average consumer; you're a general consumer. The word average consumer gets run through the muds nowadays. So I changed that to general consumer because we're all general people here.
Yeah,
we're all general, regular, average. Yeah. So for you, this is something that could be rocking because it could give you a great experience in terms of usage. If you're not a cellular guy, you're just in there for the experience, this will work for you. However, though, Los and Sneed really bring up a fair point, and that if it wants to do well in America, they got to turn on those bands. Now, even though the article said that later updates they will release the support for the bands, I'm going to wait to see when they do because actions speak louder than words, as many of you know. And I do also agree with Snee that at $500, maybe you can bite the bullet if you're willing to. But I'm going to say this: taking cellular, taking all that out the door, from my perspective, from a business perspective, this has the making of undercutting the competition with no holdback. Only
Yeah.
holdback would probably be CPU, battery life, maybe.
Maybe.
But like Lo said, it needs the technology to support all carriers. So I think if CTE wants to do well, they got to do a couple of things. Number one, they got to they say their software support is 4 years, 4 OS upgrades. They need to officially announce that. I think that needs to be officially said. They need to turn on those bands. They got to turn those bands on. They got to turn it on. Number 3, if they really want to do good in America, if in the United States, I feel like they have to work with the carriers. Make a Verizon model. Maybe it'll bring the price up, okay, but it still undercuts the Galaxy. It still undercuts the iPhone. And lastly, I usually say marketing, but in this case, they picked up notoriety without very little marketing. They got picked up like that. So they were doing something that made them get put on the radar. So I feel like they need to capitalize on this momentum. They need to use it to their advantage. And if they want to earn customers' trust, especially being that they're based in China, which a lot of people weren't so sure, but I do feel if OnePlus can do it, they can do it, but they have to do it better. They got to do it better. And the last thing I'll say, and then we're going to move on to the last topic of the night because we are almost at the hour mark, and I'll bring little Max in. Last thing they need to do to succeed, they've got 2 models, the 30 and Ultra. They can make budget end devices. They can make cheaper models. I feel like they need to just keep it simple. Keep a lineup nice and easy. No continuity. No going all over the place with like chewing up the alphabet and then vomiting it out with models.
No Ultra S Pro Max.
Yes, exactly. Just make 2 models and then one budget end for like the $200 market, the $100 market, and innovate in those areas. And I do agree with a lot of people, and I'm not discrediting anybody in the live chat or anything you guys said. But I've got my eye on ZTE, and I gotta say, if they get those bands supported, do not be surprised if I jump on board and go back to Android with that. Do not be surprised if I go back. Because, again, stock Android-like experience with day 1 releases that they're pushing, or at least maybe day and a half late, who knows? Because that's their big whoop with macOS 11. That's what the websites and reports are claiming. So that's my thoughts on ZTE. That like why I think this could be the makings, but they do have to make sure that they address all those issues, capitalize on the momentum, and they have to definitely work with carriers. Because if they don't
Like,
work with carriers,
could you do a poll? Can you build one into the live chat?
Yeah,
Do you have
yeah,
the-
do that.
I would love to build a
Get a
poll.
poll. Get
Where do we,
a poll
build,
so the people, put up an option.
where
Would
do we
they?
build polls in here?
You just go to the live chat of the YouTube video.
Yeah, it
Mhm.
should be at the bottom.
Yeah.
Oh, I
It's
see.
The YouTube studio.
And then you can kind of build a poll, maybe asking people if they
Where
like
is
the
it? I'm so
Axon
sorry.
30.
Where is it?
In the YouTube studio at the bottom, it should be. You should be able to see it in the YouTube studio, not from Restream back office, but
YouTube
in the
studio.
actual YouTube studio.
Okay.
Yeah,
Or the actual
'cause
YouTube
guys, I'm still
video.
learning this stuff, so I'm a student at the game here. So
No
while I
problem.
create the poll, while I create this poll, let's move on to the last story of the night. And I'm glad I got you guys in here because I really want to talk about this. And this is a very sensitive topic. This is a very sensitive thing I'm about to talk about because this could go one of 2 ways. There could be somebody that watches this that feels I'm talking about them and then they could get offended and they don't like what I have to say. Or there could be another person that 100% agrees with me. So we're gonna have to take this with a grain of salt. Now, Sneed, you said in YouTube Studios under the
The way I build my polls, I go to the YouTube video and just do it there. I think the studio should be able to do it too.
Yeah, yeah.
You just go. You got to get to the live chat, is what you got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
I
in
feel like-
Restream, but in YouTube.
I feel like that's what I'm going to do. But anyway, so the second topic of the night, guys, I'm building this poll as we speak. So let's get to the second topic. So as you guys know, there is a whole notion of this whole thing called a circle. Now, I for one have seen many of them. I think we've all have. But recently there was a recent tweet by I'm Just Saying. Everybody knows who I'm Just Saying is on Twitter. He is
Yeah,
such a
Jason
great
C.
dude.
Jason C. Good dude.
Jason
Yeah.
and I, we hit it off many times. Shout out to Jason. He is really one of the coolest dudes. I love that dude. His opinions are awesome. But he brings up a notion, and I got to talk about it for a second. Sorry. Just finishing the poll right here, guys. We're going to post it right now.
My man Technoid getting technical on the stream, baby. I'm here for it, man. I'm here for
Sorry,
it,
everybody.
Technoid.
Sorry, everyone. Alrighty, poll is up. You have till tonight to answer. But anyway, so Jason brought up the point the other night talking about whether or not, there's a tech circle. Is there a tech circle thing, or is there such thing as a circle? Now, the definition of that means that it's only a group of people. It's only a certain set of people. It's only a number of people, and that they just do not open their doors to other people.
Is that the full tweet?
What's up?
Was that the full tweet?
No, I'm explaining the definition. I'm
Oh, okay,
explaining
okay,
the
okay,
definition
okay.
of what
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think a circle reference to.
Okay.
Now, a lot of people have said that in the tech world there is a circle. But when it comes to content creators, and this is what Jason was referring to in one of his tweets, I can't find it right now, is that it doesn't matter if there is a circle or not. There's one person suffering from it, and that's, the up-and-coming YouTubers, the ones that are trying to work the hardest, the ones that try to build opportunities, build collaborations, those who try to bring good content but can't do it because everybody else is so closed-ended they don't want to do anything with others. And recently he addressed that it got so toxic, like that this whole circle notion has become very toxicating, and it's become so, combustible. So I need to ask you guys, Silva, Los, and Sneed, is there really, in your opinion, what are your thoughts on this whole tech circle? And I don't encourage, like I said, you don't have to name anybody. I'm not naming anybody. I'm not knocking nobody. But if there is anything that you know about a circle, do not be afraid to go ahead and say it, because we're all here. We're addressing this as a whole. We're not calling somebody out. This is just addressing what Jason talked about. And me, I feel like I think he's right in some areas. But what do you guys think?
You got it, Seen. I go after you guys.
All right. Well, I'll jump in. So I've been around making content for like 4 or 5 years. And for the longest time, I wanted to collaborate with a lot of different creators. I knew that collaboration was a part of growth. I understood that. I've always known that. That's a part of business. It's a business strategy. You collaborate, you work with others. It opens up relationship opportunities, and things kind of can happen. So I always knew that about YouTube and growing my channel. But people would not work with me because I was not known. I had no established fan base. I didn't offer anything to really help people, because people equate help as, can this person give me subscribers? Can this person get me new eyes, more views? So because I was a small creator, well, I mean, I'm still a small creator, but I was very small with 50, 100, 200 subscribers. They look at you like, how's this person going to help me? So those circles, you either have to be those people's personal friends, or you have to be a large creator that can bring them new eyes, can bring them new subscribers and viewers. So I think the basis of the tech circle is it's basically clicks. Now, the way I view these tech circles is you could do two things. You could have you and your friends, or you can have you and other similar YouTube creators, size and stuff like that, or you can have no circle and just do it all yourself, because there does become a fine line where I have seen cliques form and they have X'd people out, allowed certain people in and then canceled others. I have seen that. Now, I have taken a different approach with my community, and I don't even know if it's even fair to call it my community. I mean, I have a channel and I have viewers and subscribers and stuff, but I have been very receptive of pretty much anyone and everyone. If you offer something to bring to the table to the community in the form of knowledge, experience, content, if you offer something to the world that's positive and contributes, I want you to be a part of this, of what I'm doing in terms of making content. Now, other people like, I don't view it as I need to benefit. I think I do benefit from it in the long run and in the short run. I don't see it any other way, but like, I think people just have this selfishness. Like, how does this person help me? And if you can't, they just push you out.
You know, I can hear the dog giving
straight up, bro.
Slurping the
He's
like
slobbering, man. Look at this. Look at it.
That's gross,
Your
bro.
dog-
That is nasty.
Your dog is like,
I love this
literally
dog,
making-
man. He's my favorite. He's my favorite. You leave him alone.
Man, you
That's
know
why
what that
he
dog
loved
was
me.
doing
Look
10
at him.
minutes
He
ago?
hugging me.
You want to know what that dog was doing 10 minutes ago?
What was he doing 10 minutes ago?
your dog is
Exactly.
literally making the sounds people make when the Pixel 5a drops on Twitter.
Yep.
Hey, look at this, Max. What do you think of these guys? Woo, they're very mean and nasty. He is a good hoser.
Oh, man.
Oh shit!
When you love a dog, you're willing to put up with it. When you love a dog, you're willing to put up with it. That's the love of a brotherhood or brothership, whatever, with a dog. So I let him do what he wants. He's a good dog. But anyway, go ahead. I was listening.
Yeah,
Go ahead. But yes, Sneed, I remember when you told these stories, and for me, I think, sorry, Max. I feel like the whole circle, and I'm sorry, Los, you got to go. I'm sorry. Why am I talking? Go ahead.
Bro, I mean, if people think this is like a gang, bro, then they're smoking crack. Because this is supposed to be to help each other out, bro. Collab, have fun, bring something to the table, like Sneed said. This is not about, choose me, or you got to be with them. Like if you're going to do an initiation and get jumped in or something, bro, like this is some crazy ass shit, bro. What I be seeing, bro. What is it? What is this? What up, blood? What up, cuz?
Oh, man.
Bro. Damn. But that's how I feel sometimes, though. It's true. I be seeing that with certain people, bro, and it's just crazy, man. Well, this ain't no thug shit, bro. This ain't no gangster.
This ain't no East Coast,
bro.
West Coast.
I know, bro. Well, the West is the best, anyways. But all right, we just leave that alone. But yeah, it's just, it is what it is, bro. Hopefully, people can see what we do, all of us together, and can maybe suck that energy and throw it out there and do the same. Because that's basically what we try to do. We want to help. We want to help people out. We don't care who they are, what they're. Everybody has something to bring to the table. Doesn't matter what it is. It can be the smallest thing. It can be the biggest thing.
Los, think about it. Like you and myself collaborated. Me and Sioba, he's had me on his live streams. We've interacted on these live streams. Technoid, we've been riding what, 2 years at least.
2 years.
I mean, this stuff is organic. So when you do it that way, when it's inclusive, and you just bring together all these perspectives, you get organic growth. You get healthy interactions. Like I said, we've kind of formed a brotherhood in this, being that we all have channels and we all create content. And I think we respect each other for that. You do it the other way and it just gets really negative and toxic and divisive,
Yeah, and I want to address. I'm sorry, Silva. Go ahead. You got to go.
I'm a bit of a rogue when it comes to stuff like this, man. I do things my way, and whoever rocks with me. Who don't. I don't put in effort to fit in. I just do what I need to stand out. Shout out to Sneed, Carlos, and Technoid. I still can't remember how Sneed saw my channel. Man, I popped up on Sneed. Sneed said, "Oh, I like your stuff." I was like, "Really?" He said, "Yeah, I always watch it." I said, "All right, Sneed, I appreciate that." And Sneed being cool, Technoid, you do your stream. If I can hop on, I hop on. No doubt. Shout out to Carlos Mobile Tech. I got your live stream featured on my 24/7 playlist. You seeing it for yourself.
Bro,
So,
I be watching everybody, bro. Just because I don't comment, don't mean I'm not watching. I'm watching. I might be doing something else, but I'm watching.
So I think, a lot of people this stuff really tears people up inside, man. Gets them stayed up late at night on Twitter crying in Twitter spaces, crying and Clubhouse rooms about how, you know, people don't want to collab with them. They, you know, fighting to get collaboration. And I understand collaboration is a good thing to grow your channel, you know, but I collaborate with people who I talk to, you, right? So I don't feel the need to collaborate with someone just because I think that their platform is going to help my platform, because I got a unique platform where, you know, my word matters to people. People actually genuinely ask me things, and like they make decisions based on what I say. So I'm not trying to just grow a general platform of people that I can look at analytics and data and numbers and things like that. And I think when people focus on building collaborations and trying to fit into circles, they put themselves at a disadvantage. Focus on what you're trying to do and be the greatest you, and not try to fit in with people, because you can never always fit in with everybody. Eventually you're going to stand out some way, somehow. And so when it comes to this tech circle collaborations, I see this stuff all the time. And matter of fact, I'll be honest, like, people talk to me and I notice they talk to me different when they talk to the other people. It is what it is, man. But at the end of the day, you got to focus on what you're doing, with your platform, your business, how you want to grow. And you got to leave that stuff alone, because this the kind of stuff people focusing on trying to fit in. I'm telling you, it keeps people up at night. It really bothers people. They're on Clubhouse, Twitter Spaces, Twitter, social media, crying about this 24/7. It really bothers people trying to fit in, man. And at the end of the day, you got to focus on what you're trying to do, what you need to do, and what you got to do. And people who are going to rock with you, if they rock with you, and if they don't, they're missing out. That's how I feel. So I don't really focus on collaborating with people. If you don't know what COVA means in a YouTube search engine, I don't know what to tell you, baby.
You know, and listen,
Facts.
I 100% agree with what you said, Ciova. I 100% agree with what you said, Sneed and Los. You guys have been like family to me. Well, let me tell you guys where I stand. I do believe there's a tech circle in everybody. Whether we show it or not, maybe we don't see it. Maybe we don't know. But one thing I do know for sure is that not everybody likes to close themselves out. I know a lot of people like to work with other people, not because of views, not because of subscribers, not because they can grow, but I feel like people like it because it gives the fans, the people that are watching, better content. And I've always believed that if you basically interact with more people, you open the doors, make good relations, and you work with people, it doesn't matter about a number. If you just work with people, you can make some good content, and the viewers are the ones that benefit in the end.
Yes,
I've always been of the notion to believe that. I've always believed that if you watch, you know, if you work with other people, give them a chance, and you don't care about the numbers, you get some good content. You get some good, like, that's why in my show, and I've said this like for 2 years now, I will continue to always open my DMs on Twitter. If you want to come on a show, you're more than welcome to come on a show. If you can bring anything, your opinion, your tech side, you're open to come in. Like Latrell. I've been promising Latrell a live stream. We're going to do it next time. I promise you. The next time I go live, Latrell is coming on. I am always open to anybody and anybody.
Technoid hit me up with the tech when we did that show. What was that? 15 minutes we did that show. You hit me up that one time.
Yeah,
we did the show in like 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did it, and it you know, it was a great show. It was an awesome show. We had a good time, and working with Carlos, working with Sneed, working with you guys have built me to, you know, give back to others and also make good content and not worry about the numbers. It doesn't matter about the numbers.
You know
For
what's,
me anyway.
You know what's incredible, Technoid, Ciova, Carlos? Like, I've watched all of your channels grow. And it actually wasn't because of collaborations. It was your organic growth. Like, Ciova was right. Like, people watch Ciova for Ciova. When he's on a live stream and visiting and popping in and all this is, you know, it's icing on the cake. It's the gravy on the mashed potatoes, you know. It's like an extra. It's like a bonus. These collaborations are fun. I think we just enjoy being here, you know, more than anything. But your growth is because of you. Yeah. You know, one time you thanked me for something, Mike, and it totally wasn't really necessary, but you're just a respectful person. But it's really about you. And Carlos, it's always been about you. And Ciova, it's always been about you, right? You know, we earn our keep. It's always been on merit. It's always based on merit, you know?
Learn something from somebody else, bro. I mean, if it wasn't for Ciova, I wouldn't have done that. Look at that.
Mhm.
I bought all that.
I
And
remember
hey,
that dream.
Siova, I told you,
Hey,
Siova,
this
I
microphone.
was inspired to do OBS and Streamlabs because of
Yeah.
Siova. I was like, let me kick my game up with the podcast. Let me go ahead and get
and Los,
some
yeah.
graphics in there and whatever.
And Los and Sneak, this microphone came from Los himself because he believed in me, and I've used it every stream. I've never once not used this microphone. Of course, I've also put back in my own channel by getting a better quality camera, which we're going to do something different with this room next year. We got plans for the next year's show, but you guys have believed in me, and it's helped me to believe in others, and it's helped me to try to help others and give back to others. And when I see communities be so toxic, when I see communities like go at each other, when I see YouTubers who aren't even as big as other people act like they're all show and they try to put on a persona that isn't them, it pisses me off. And I'll be honest, this is a true story. But way back last year when I was still learning and I was making rookie mistakes and basically Sneed guiding me, I remember last year during the pandemic, there was this one YouTuber. I'm not going to call out the name of this YouTuber, but I wasn't invited onto their live stream. Sneed was on the show, and I basically wanted to come on, but I interjected myself when it wasn't my place, and I understood completely it wasn't my place to try to do that, and I wasn't doing it because I just wanted to jump on. I wanted to do it because Sneed was on. I just want to have some fun, and the person that I went on, I mean, obviously eventually they'll probably one day invite me back, but I'm pretty sure that I probably messed that relation up, and that's okay because you know what? I grew from that, and I learned not to, try to impose your will onto another person's video. And that person, whoever did the live stream, I'm not saying it, they're very closed ended. They don't allow just anybody. So I obviously learned from that, and I've grown from that, and I've learned enough to know to just do my own thing, but keep myself open for others and to give back to the fans and the viewers of my show. And that's what I think about tech circles. I think it's a sin that there are things called circles. I feel like we should all come together to make content for the viewers, not for the money, not for the subscribers. And there are people that will use you for that, which really is terrible. It's a terrible thing when they do that. I just wish that people would open up their doors. Because if you look at John Prosser, he's a perfect example. In the beginning, John, and I listen, I don't watch John Prosser anymore. And I'm not saying because of any bad reason. I just don't have time to watch him anymore. I got my own thing to do. And also, between me and you, I like to watch other smaller content creators. He's already a bigger influencer. So there's no need for me to keep giving to him when I can give to somebody else who's up and coming and probably doing a better job than me. But that's neither here or there. Another perfect example of somebody whose ego got too big and somebody who thinks they know everything is a certain headphone reviewer, and I'm not going to say his name, but y'all know who I'm going at. And I still will go at him. I won't call his name.
just
I
leaned,
won't
bro.
call his name. I won't call him. But everybody always looks at him like, and I'm just like, hey man, listen. At the end of the day,
Man.
I learned 3 things from my mom. My mom taught me 3 things in life: be humble, be respectful, and be kind to your elders. And I'm doing that for this individual. If I wanted to go off, have no respect, I'd go off on him right now. But I got respect, so I'm not going to do that. But I always tell everybody, just please, when you're making YouTube videos, when you're making content, be respectful to anybody. Don't call out anybody just because I learned my lesson with that. You see me,
It's okay to take the high road and
for
to
entertainment
step
purposes,
and
maybe.
step carefully. Like you don't want to cross any lines and burn any bridges and create
Exactly.
unnecessary, confrontation.
Yeah, exactly. And the second thing I tell people, try your best to work with other people and not try to make them look like you're dependent on them. Do your thing and work. But most of all, the third most important thing, be open to somebody, because they could in return build a good relationship and you guys could give back and make videos that are probably better than anybody could imagine. So I always tell everyone, don't set your ego this high because of numbers of your subscriber count. I have 3,000 subs and I don't care. Pink thongs in the house. Let's go. Let's go. Pink thongs in the house. Let's go. I'm going to wrap up the show by saying this. I love what I do. I don't care about viewerships. I don't care about any of that. I have fun making my show. I have fun working with you guys. I have fun bringing new people onto my channel. And I have fun just being an entertainer, a YouTuber. But most of all, I'm just happy to be awake every day because there's always a tomorrow. And I'm always happy to make videos for anybody.
You're the
And
man.
I
You're
thank
the
you,
man,
gentlemen.
Technoid.
Yes,
You're
I
the
sir.
thank
man,
you,
bro.
gentlemen. I thank all of you for taking a part of this ride with me. And this whole notion of this tech circle, let's create a hashtag. I'm going to create a hashtag. Let's do it. Hashtag
Circle
break
jerk.
the circle. Break the circle.
Bah.
Let's break the circle, ladies and germs. Hashtag break the circle.
Insert Technoid doggy kiss sounds.
Oh, wow.
Oh damn!
But anyway, now that we've got that out of the way, let us finish up this show. So, boys, it was a really, really fun show tonight. I really thank you all for being a part of this show. I really thank you all for coming in and giving what you have, your time and energy. But most of all,
The
we got to
poll.
address the poll.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
poll.
Yeah,
It
the
was
poll.
a dead split. It is
Hashtag save the
50.
BBW, Carlos.
Oh yeah.
Hashtag save the BBW. Hold on one second. Finish off the show, boys and girls.
Oh
Go ahead.
damn, bro! You gotta go at me on that. God damn, it was a mistake.
It's never going anywhere, dog. It's always
Anywhere, bro.
See,
That's
this dog gets more treatment than I did when I was a kid because he be getting massages and he'll be getting more love from any one of us. But anyway, guys,
The
before we end
dog
the
is
show,
cuter.
wow, thank you so much, Siova. And this is my girlfriend's dog, so I want to thank Holly for bringing him over and letting him be a part of this video. But anyway, guys, let's wrap up the show. I really appreciate you guys. No, it was not flossy. It was not floss. I love floss. Anyway, guys, thank you all for coming on. I appreciate you guys hitting this video. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button. If you dislike the video, you can hit the dislike button. That helps circulate the videos. Thank you so much, Carlos. Thank you so much, Sneed, Siova. Thank you all. And thank you all to those watching live. I'll be doing live streams more often as the season goes. We are back in swing, ladies and gentlemen. Technoid grind is here. Thank you all for watching. And hold on, in the words of Dougie, peace.
Peace, peace,
There
peace,
we go.
peace, peace,
Peace.
peace.